things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can to fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting a team prepared, ready to go, so we start practice. Our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today, they report, or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 36, not 48, not 44, one. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. To know your assignments. To have 11 guys play hard on every staff. That's hard. That's why there's one. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. Where there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it? You're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're an angry football team. You got an angry staff. You got a bunch of guys that are getting ready to start a journey. We're starting that journey tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're a hungry football team, and I'm proud to be your coach. There's a plan in place, right?
Welcome to the Voice of College Football, Ohio State Primetime Live, man. You are here with both of your hosts, Cleveland Mike and Garrison Gaddy.
Mike,
Garrison,
what's going on, man?
how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. It's the holidays. We're in the holiday spirit, and
For sure.
you know, our football season is not over. You know, it's some people hating from outside the club, but they can't even get in, man.
Can't even when it's expanded, boy, can't get in. That's
Sad.
tough.
Man,
That's
they expanded
tough.
it just for these type of teams, and they can't even get in, man. But it is so good to be back. It is good to be here. Ohio State will be taking on the Miami Hurricanes in the Cotton Bowl right here in DFW. So I'm trying to. Your boy might go to the game, Garrison. So I might have to give you some live content right after the game, you know, in the post game.
Oh, be better than me after the game. But boy, I was stressed out. But no, man, I can't wait for this matchup. You know, a lot of people thought that Texas A&M would have been the easier matchup for Ohio State, and maybe so. But I do think that between the both programs, Ohio State and Miami, they want this game to happen, and I think a lot of the nation want this game to happen. I'm excited to play them. I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I can't wait, man, because there's a lot of Miami people I want to shut up. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, I wanna first go off by asking you, why is this matchup so important between these two teams? Why does it matter so much? The brands, you're talking the history, you're talking championships.
Yeah.
Why does this game matter? Because like you said, you know, the Texas A&M might have been the easier game, right? I think so, or the easier matchup.
Yeah.
But that's not even the game that I wanted. This is the game that I wanted.
So that same year, right? That was the year I actually decided to play football. It was in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And so that same year I played running back like my dad played in high school. He was my coach. I saw him just career as a freshman that year. And I saw that year of Columbus, like Ohio State football. And that's when I honestly fell in love with Ohio State football as a young child. Bro, like ever since I've never had to worry, Mike. I've never had to worry about this program. I think we're gonna go out there and show out. I'm very confident with Ryan Day taking over the play calling. And it is not because I don't believe Hartline could have been successful. Maybe he could have, but even he knows he has a lot on his plate right now, right?
Right.
I think the Ohio State Buckeyes are in a good situation, and I think anybody doubting them would be wrong too. And it's okay if they want to, they can.
Yeah.
But
This
I'm
match.
very confident in this game. I'm very confident.
Right. I believe that this matchup matters because I seen someone said that if Miami was to win this game, it will restart the college football settings and all of that stuff. Like, Miami, you just got here, you snuck in, congratulations, happy for you or whatever. I don't believe that is, but when you're talking about some of the biggest brands, and Miami was one of the top brands in college football.
Yes.
You're talking about in the 90s, early 2000s. But
Mm-hmm.
after Sweater Vest came in, they have been an afterthought for the past 23 years. Now, we have talked to people, Garrison, and one thing that they have said is, oh, we don't really talk about that game. But
Yeah.
every Miami podcast, every talking show about this game has reference that 2002 national championship when Ohio State
Correct.
beat them. And it's so funny because they all want to talk about that last play call, and how they got cheated and all of this, but they never want to talk about Maurice Clarett getting that fumble, getting the turnover back.
Oh yeah,
Forcing the fumble.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
Rest in
They,
peace.
they
Yeah.
never want to talk about that. They also never want to talk about a holding call that was missed that it shouldn't even win in overtime. Ohio State should have won. There's a lot of things that they don't want to talk about. They only want to talk about that one play. But I'm just so glad that we get to have this game because I'm hoping that, or I believe that it will not come down to that one play, and we can finally talk about something, of relevance because good Lord, man, 23 years ago, how old was I? About what, 13?
Yeah, we was young boys, young guys.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, man. What are we
But I'll tell you what though, man. Like my dad, like he still has the that game on DVD,
man?
and it's a fun watch. I'm not gonna hold you. Fun watch.
Oh man, we shout out to our people on the X app, man. We definitely appreciate everybody there. If you are watching on the X, make sure that you hit that retweet button. And if you are watching right here on YouTube, we will be giving shout out to our top fans at the end of the show. So make sure you're hitting that like button, that share button, and the comment as well, man. And I see the Miami fans in here. Playoff Wolf. We're going to introduce y'all to what hell feels like, Mike. I don't think that you could ever, introduce me to that. My program has been here for a very long time, and I don't think that you guys have the cachet to sit there and assassinate programs. It's not something that Miami was known for doing ever, but Ohio State has done that to multiple programs. But Garrison, man, first impressions on this matchup when it was announced. Like, what was your initial reaction?
Excitement, readiness, preparation. I think that like between like let's talk about the fandom real quick because that's the fun part. But we can all know that we want to play each other. Everybody wants to see that matchup. Everyone knows that 20 years plus ago, that game that we had against Miami in the national championship, it rings large. With that being said, Miami looks good. They're a very dangerous team. And the Buckeyes has some, let's say, areas of improvement. I think that's a good way to call it.
Yeah,
And
we'll get to those
it's gonna
in a
get
minute.
tested. And it's gonna get tested. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, and we're going to get to that. My initials was thoughts on this was I was excited. I have been listening to Miami fans like for the longest, actually since that game. I have friends who are Miami fans, and that's all they're talking about. You talk about every season in college football in group chats. that is what we talk about. I have a group chat where it's just with Miami fans as well. And they've been very, very quiet lately in that group chat until this announcement. So I'm very excited. And I actually, if I do go to the game, it'll probably be with one of my friends who is a Miami fan. So that will be interesting. Now, we were talking about the concerns, right? There's some lingering questions on Ohio State and those concerns. Now, some people will say that Ohio State needs to be concerned with the O line. And also, would you be concerned as well with with the DBs? But before we get to that, Garrison, got to shout out my guy Rob. Shout out to him, member for 5 months. Merry Christmas, everyone. Please stay safe, man. We appreciate you, Rob. Merry
Appreciate it, Rob.
Christmas to all, man. Definitely. But Garrison, what are your concerns about the Buckeyes? What are some things that during this break, getting ready for this game, that they needed to work on?
I would specifically go to the right guard spot, making sure the guys have a good rotation, know where they have to be, know where they need to block. Tegra has started most of the games. That is fact, but I think a lot of us have more. Um, we have more belief in the guys behind him, being Padilla and Van Sickle, and I'll see our corners play tough, play fast.
And okay, so people are wondering, right? Because everyone's sitting here, they're wondering how could the backup be better than the starter who's been starting all year? I would say that people should go to watching the film. I mean, people say that they went and watched the Indiana game, but actually go and watch where Ohio State actually had to start moving down the field and what happened. Garrison had to go, man. He's at a Christmas party, so we appreciate Garrison for pulling up. Also want to give a shout out to our guy, Ben, who has been a loyal member for a month. Go Buckeyes, DFW Bucks represent. My guy, Ben, I believe he'll be at the game, so I'm going to try to meet up with Ben. Hopefully me and Ben can get a picture. And if anybody knows, this is if you know, this is a Menace Army inside joke right here. If you know, you know, but definitely ready for Gabe Van Sickle. And that's the thing, like before Garrison got off here, how can the right guard spot be better without the tackle? I mean, without our starting right guard, right? And I've been saying this since we seen Gabe Van Sickle, and not even just Gabe Van Sickle, even Josh Padilla. Since we've seen them get on the field, the offensive line looks way better. The chemistry of the offensive line, everything has looked way better when Tegra isn't out there. Now, they're saying that Tegra has been dealing with an injury. Maybe that could have been the case. So, yes, is a guy who's healthy, playing at a top university, still going through the same development and training, playing better than the guy that's injured. Of course I can believe that. Yes, that is happening. So I'm definitely excited to see that. And this is what I said. I thought that Gabe Van Sickle, when he started, what was that? The Rutgers game, I said, hey, no, I want to say he was before the Rutgers game. But I said, hey, let Gabe start another game, play him, that whole game, see how he grades out. If he grades out good, follow it up with the Team Up North game, and then ride it on into the playoffs, because that would be the best for his development, where I wouldn't want his first start to be in the college football playoffs. But, I mean, we had Luke Montgomery, who had one of his first starts in the college football playoffs. Ohio State, Ryan Day, all of these guys made sure that these guys were ready. My concern isn't going to be too much with the offensive line. My biggest concern is our secondary. And the reason why I say our secondary mostly is because teams have said all season who they believe our fish is. And I know that Jermaine Matthews got caught a couple times. I think he played probably one of his worst games. Don't think that is going to happen too many times against Jermaine Matthews going forward. The kid is a stud. He's a stud. We know that, right? My biggest issue is in this game particular, because of who Malachi Tony is that Lorenzo Styles and Malachi Tony. What is Matt Patricia going to do to make sure that he's not the fish? What is he going to do to confuse maybe Malachi Tony and Carson Beck as well? Because, I mean, they're both quarterbacks in this game. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see a pass. You have basically seen a pass from Malachi Tony in basically almost every game. Definitely just about every game that I have watched since the middle part of the season, I will say. So that would be my lingering concern is the Lorenzo style. Iggy has been playing so much better as well. Now let's talk about some Miami, right? Talking about their staff, I want to start off with the coaching staff. You got Mario Cristobal as the head coach. You got Shannon Dawson as the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator is skipping my mind all of a sudden right now. I have no idea why that is skipping my mind. But anyways, watching Miami's offense, let's start off with Mario Cristobal. He got a dub against Ohio State when he was the head coach of Oregon. When Ohio State's defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, all they had to do was run the same plays. Miami fans are banking their hat on that. Sorry, Miami fans, but we do not have that Kerry Coombs defense, and it will not be walking in the door where you can run the same play over and over and just continue to capitalize on it. It's not happening. Also, our linebackers are way better than they were back then as well. So, sorry, Miami fans. That's what you're hanging your hat on. It's not going to happen. But one thing that I do have a concern with is Mario Cristobal's clock management in games. Not just this year. It has just been something since Mario Cristobal has been at Oregon, something that we have also seen at Miami, and his situational play calling. That's something that I believe that we're going to have to watch in this game. Now, talking about Shannon Dawson, offensive play caller. Sometimes the guy can cook. He get in the rhythm. But against some better defenses, it's hard for him to get in the rhythm. It's hard for him to pick some of the right plays at the right time. And you kind of saw that in the Texas A&M game where he was going away from the bread and butter, things that were working. And I see some Miami players saying, oh, you got to keep them honest or whatever because you don't want them to do that. That's what you call setup plays. No, you go with your bread and butter because then if they want to stop it, you should have a setup play off of that, right? That's what a good offensive coordinator does. So that's something that I believe to watch out for. In that game against Texas A&M, I was sitting there saying, hey, run Mark Fletcher. Dude was averaging over like 7 yards a carry early in the game, but they really didn't start giving him the ball or the bulk of the carries until the fourth quarter. So if Ohio State, I believe, can go ahead and stop that run game, get that run game out of there, this will kind of put Shannon Dawson where he wants to start doing some trick plays, different things like that. Another thing, they like to do a lot of screens. One thing that you'll see, they could do a screen with Malachi Tony, have him throw the ball. They could do a little like, you thinking it's a jet with Malachi. Well, they will do some jets, or, they will do some jets with Malachi, or they'll act like it's a jet. Now, that's the one thing that I will say. He's done a great job with that setup play. Hey, it's a jet pass, or you're expecting him to, pass the ball. No, screw that. He's running that mug. So, I mean, those are definitely some things that I believe that Ohio State will have to watch out for. But one thing that I can say about Ohio State, all season long, when teams have tried trick plays, Ohio State has been very, very disciplined. So as long as they stay in discipline, those passes will not be there for Malachi Tony. Again, appreciate everybody watching on the X app. Make sure that you hit that retweet button, as it just helps us grow and get more eyes on this channel, man. We appreciate everybody. So let's go ahead. We're about in the middle of the show. Let's go ahead, or close to the middle of the show. Let's go ahead and see what everybody is talking about. Man, I have a feeling that Matt P and Ryan Day are about to cook, not just in the Cotton Bowl either. I have that feeling as well. You talk about watching their interviews and the questions. I keep saying this like almost every week. Some of the questions I feel like are repetitive. We understand you guys have written many, many stories about the relationship that Matt P has with these players. We get it. We understand. But there is way more questions that can be asked about this Ohio State defensive football team. But I can say this, that Matt P seems like he has more plans for Arvell Reese. He kind of hinted that teams are, actually game planning for Arvell Reese. And that's why you've seen Sonny Styles, eat. Maybe early in the season, everybody was like, hey, let's watch for Sonny Styles, but now it's Arvell Reese, right? So you're going to see some back and forth. But in this game, one thing that I have noticed is Carson Beck, right? He doesn't do well against the blitz. And I don't know if we send in coffee house style blitz with Arvell Reese. What are we going to do to confuse their talented offensive line? But I'm expecting that we're going to be sending bullets at these guys, man. Very, very excited about it. Also, yeah, Ryan Day calling plays. And I saw Miami fans laughing about Ryan Day calling plays as if Brian Hartline's a better play caller than Ryan Day. Now, last year, we heard about Brian Hartline giving some passing concepts and things like that in the game plan with Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. But also, one thing that was reported that apparently people do not believe or do not know is Ryan Day was heavily involved in the play calling and the game plan in the playoffs last season. Yes, the down the field shots, those things, yeah, that's a Ryan Day Hartline thing. I think that we're still going to see that. You're still going to see that aggressiveness from this team. And one thing that I like to say, and you're going to see this team cook. Be expecting some passes to Max Clare. That's one thing. We haven't really seen us attack the middle of the field. I'm expecting to see that in the playoffs, especially in this game. That was something that just came alive in the playoffs last year, where we were attacking the middle of the field, and it was very hard for teams to just hold us to anything, man. I mean, you're talking about right up the seam. I remember Emeka Egbuka on Oregon scoring a touchdown right up the seam. Same thing, I believe we hit G. Scott. I mean, it's gonna be there, man. But one thing that I'll say is shout out to the Rob Farver is anyone else think this is going to be a really low scoring game? And I'll tell you why Rob thinks this way. Is because when you think about the strength of both of these teams, you think about the Ohio State defense being the strength of this team, right? Yes, we know we got Julian saying master accuracy guy. We got freaks on the outside with Carnell and JJ. We got an amazing freshman running back. We got Max Clare at tight end. But when you think about the strength of this team, the consistency of this team, it has been his defense. And that is the same thing with Miami, right? Their strength is their defense. That's something that they have been, holding piggybacking on all season, especially the defensive front. So Mesidor, you're talking about Bain. I'm very excited to see this matchup. And then you're talking about guys that Ohio State recruited into Justin Scott as well. I seen Lightfoot out there now. Lightfoot, I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to do because I was looking at him and I'm like, boy, he is looking skinny. I thought that boy was playing wide receiver or something, man. So I'm very interested to see what our offensive line looks like against their defensive line. A lot of people are continuously saying that Ohio State hasn't played anybody. We haven't even played any top 30, 35 teams, and they would be wrong. We've played multiple top 30 teams and beaten them. Like, the only thing that we didn't beat is Indiana, and everybody's hanging their hat on that. But I think that's crazy, man. And Jam asked me, Mike, are you confident? I am very confident that Ohio State will get this dub. I believe that we will win by double digits. Yep, I'm on record. Clip me up. Ohio State will win by double digits in this game. And that's because of Ryan Day and Matt Patricia. Again, if I had to pick Shannon Dawson, their OC, and Matt Patricia, who are you picking? I'm picking Matt Pete all day. And I don't believe that we're going to have Big Ten refs allowing our defensive line to just be tackled. That I don't believe that that's going to be. I mean, if we had Big Ten refs, I would tell the Miami offensive line, hey, just tackle our defensive line the whole game. Like, you'll be fine. They ain't going to call nothing. But Kenyatta Jackson also talked about being better with his technique and not allowing people to hold him. I'm very excited to see how this Ohio State's defensive front is against this Miami offensive line. A lot of people say that this Miami offensive line is one of the best in the country, but they weren't. I don't believe that they were up for any Joe Moore awards, right? But Ryan Day saying that he's going to call plays in this game. Yeah, I think that Ryan Day sees something. I think Ryan Day sees food. I think that Ryan Day gonna be cooking in this game. But before we continue, man, we got some messages from the voice of college football, man. Check it out.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the voice of college football. See what our partner Win Agency has to say about his sponsorship experience with us right here on screen. Let's discuss how you can also reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com today. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com today. And again, remember, if you are gambling, you must be 21 years or older. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Man, all right. Hey, I see y'all live today in the chat, man. Chat blowing up today. Dang. All right, let me see. I got to get to this chat. All right. Teger's feet held him back. That did too. Teger foot speed was too slow. Yep. And that's another thing. Jam, right here. Play your best 11. When you ask why would a backup be better than a guy who is starting? I mean, we had a Julian Fleming on our roster that was playing ahead of guys who were better than him. I mean, I can go down the list. Arvell Reese will be one and done because we wouldn't even rotate him in. We wouldn't even say, hey, Arvell Reese, go get after the quarterback. That's your only assignment. Only assignment. Why? Because Ohio State plays guys out of seniority and loyalty and things like that. That's why a young guy could be better than the starter. That's why a backup can be better than the starter. We've seen this happen plenty of times at Ohio State. I don't know why we do it. I believe in playing the best guy, but it happened. It happened. All right. Let's see. Daniels worries me as well. Hopefully the right guard makes him look better. And that's the thing. Daniels has some of his worst games when he's next to Tegra, but he plays some of his best when Tegra's not there. That's my thing. I don't have to worry about the right side of the offensive line for some reason when it's Daniels and Gavin Sickle. I don't know why. So, and Austin has been solid all year. I think that he will be fine. Shout out to my guy C-Ball Wine. Make sure that y'all catch us in the spaces, man. Oh, we win when Mike is confident. For sure. We definitely about to win. Mike, they are basing it on the 10. Dang, look at their season. Yeah, I mean, I'll look at their body of work. That's the thing. And you have to look at team's body of work. So good thing Jim gone. Exactly. That's another thing of why I am not worried in this game. Now, when you talk about Miami's offense versus Ohio State's defense, will Miami, I believe that they're going to use some tempo plays in this game, trying to keep our defense off balance, or that would definitely be a smart move, right? You don't want Ohio State to be able to rotate, or when they do rotate, can you catch them in certain plays with guys out? But also you have to be hitting, because one thing that you don't want to do as a Miami offense is getting third and longs against this Ohio State team. But here's what will be the strength, right? You're getting a third and long against this team, and you try to throw the ball downfield. This Ohio State defense is known for pass interference downfield, defensive holding, all those different calls or whatever that messes up. So that's something that Miami will be looking for. I see my guy Grant. Shout out to him. I'm going to try to get him on the show before the game, but he has lost his voice because he was at the Miami versus Texas A&M game. So, but I definitely want to get him on the show so that we can get a more in-depth version of Miami, because he's been covering Miami for a very long time. He's been around the program, and he's well known. I mean, you talk about a lot of people use his content, use his videos that he does in the Miami circle. So shout out to my guy. All right. Now, OSU secondaries versus Miami receivers. The only receiver that really gives me problems is Malachi Tony. And one of those being is the kid has a nasty release off the line. He also has speed. And one thing that we saw from Zoe is he's not good running people down. When they get up, if they get him beat off the line, he's beat. So that would be a concern. Now they do have another wide receiver, CJ Daniels, but he has kind of been a non-factor, I believe, in some of their biggest games, right? That was something. Another thing that I kind of felt was weird watching them against Texas A&M was it seemed like they had more faith in having the ball in Malachi Tony hands than they did Carson Beck. Now, one thing that I do feel in this game, and for teams to have beat Ohio State the past few years, your quarterback has had to do something amazing. whether that's using his legs, making pinpoint accuracy throws down the field. Your quarterback has to do something amazing to beat this Ohio State team. And that's the thing that I'm worried about with Carson Beck. Against good teams, he's known to be turnover prone. We've seen it even in the Texas A&M game. He probably should have had multiple turnovers as well. You also see if you can get him on, if you can get to Carson Beck, he's kind of careless with the ball a little bit. He can be careless in the pocket. So the DNs be looking for those strip sacks, man. Chase Young was so good at that. If our DNs can be looking for that and smacking the ball, I think Caden Curry is pretty good at that. So that could be something that they could do. But Carson Beck, make him play quarterback. Pressure him. Make him think quick, fast. Can he go through that post snap really quick? I think that's going to be another way of getting Carson Beck off of his game as well. Now, when you talk about field position, one thing that I don't want to do is be able to give Miami's offense short field. Ohio State, we got to be honest about our special teams. Our punter is not known for flipping the field like he should be. He's not. I would not want to give this Miami team a short field. That's just not something that you want to do. I do trust our defense in the red zone. Now, when you talk about red zone efficiency, Ohio State, obviously we know. Ohio State doesn't do good too well on offense in the red zone. But Miami's defense doesn't hold up well in the red zone either. So this could possibly be a plus. Also, will Ohio State in the red zone put out 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends, or will they keep their best players on the field? I believe if you want to run the ball, especially in the red zone, give your running backs chance for lanes and opportunities. When you're clogging it up like that, I didn't like that. So hopefully with Ryan Day, we can get back to spreading it out and giving Bo Jackson or our running backs an opportunity. That's another thing. If Ohio State wants to capitalize in the red zone, you have to stop taking Bo Jackson off the field in the red zone and allow your better back to go ahead and get the touchdowns. It is what it is. All right, I see, guys. The interior of the D-line has been strong. I'm confident we will contain Fletcher. Agreed. The interior line. That is one of the keys for Miami's offensive line, right? If you have to worry about double teaming K-Mac, because if you don't double team K-Mac, there's not going to be a pocket really for Caden McDonald. I mean, not for Caden McDonald, for Carson Beck to step up if you don't double team K-Mac. I'm guaranteeing you that. You could think that you had the best O-line, but if you do not double team K-Mac, that is what's going to happen, which will end up freeing up other guys. So I'm very interested to see how Matt Patricia will scheme this up, because that's the thing. Also, when you're talking about in the run game as well, K-Mac has done a really good job getting off of blocks and still being effective as a run stopper, and then allowing our linebackers to come clean up. Now, Fletch, you guys can say what you want. He flipped from the Buckeyes, but I have been a fan of this man still. Like, there's just some recruits, I don't care where they go, who they are, I'll just be a fan of them. And Fletch is one of those guys, man. I'm definitely a fan of him. He's a really good running back. But Ohio State in big games, in these type of games, have went up against great running backs a lot. And one thing that I know is we can even go back to 2022. If you really paid attention in that game, other than their explosives, Ohio State shut those running backs down. And I believe that will be the case in this game. we did see that Indiana, they were able to get, some things going with their running game. I believe Ohio State will do a better job, man. And like I said, our guys, our defensive line won't be allowed to just get tackled all the time, man. I mean, I could tell that Kenyatta Jackson was just so frustrated, bro. He was so frustrated. And why don't they respect Caden Curry? The thing is, bro, what y'all got to understand is they're not going to respect anything from Ohio State. This is Ohio State, man. It is Ohio against the world. Everybody hates us. Like Aaron is saying, David Pollock is a Georgia homer. He does not want Ohio State to win anything. All of these people are against Ohio State. When Ohio State loses, it is Christmas for them. It is Christmas all over again. That is what they like. The whole IU and all of this. But in the beginning of this show, you guys watched a highlight clip. And you heard the voiceover of Ohio State coach or former Ohio State coach, Urban Meyer. And one thing that he said in that was, this is an angry football team. You heard it from the defense. They still got a bad taste in their mouth. You heard it from the offense, JJ. And this man is pissed about not getting his awards. This man is pissed about having to deal with these injuries. And now he is healthy. I am excited to see what this angry football team looks like. And I hope that we start this game off on defense to be able to set the tone. I hope that we get to start this game off on defense, bro. But they're not going to respect it until we start putting BTA. And that's what it is, man. All right, game script scenarios. If Ohio State controls the game early, then this will be Tennessee, last year Tennessee 2.0. If Ohio State controls the game early, it can get bad soon. But if Miami was to control the game early, can Ohio State climb back? Now, we saw them in a fight with Indiana that came down to the very, very, very last seconds, right? Came down to the last seconds. I don't know. Ohio State has not been in a position where they've had to really claw and scratch back like that. But I believe that they have the capability to. Do they have the mental fortitude to? Now, if Miami turns this into a shootout, I believe Ohio State can do the exact same. As long as Julian Sand has time in the pocket. Also, one thing that Julian Sand spoke on was getting the ball out of his hands quicker, hitting the check down sooner. And that was another thing that I had issues with. You remember me speaking about it in post game, I believe, was that if Julian can hit those check downs sooner, you can make a guy miss, or especially Bo Jackson. He can make a guy miss, and you're talking about turning a 5-yard gain into an explosive. So that's something, but I just believe it's like he's been clean all the time. He should have that time. And if Gavin Sickle or Josh Padilla allows him that time and he's able to fill it, I have no issues with you holding the ball and waiting on long developing routes and things like that. But I like the fact that Julian went ahead and took that and put that on himself. He didn't put it on the whole line. He didn't put it on the coaching staff. He put it and took it all on himself. And that's what you want a leader to do. That's what you want a quarterback to do. And that's someone who you protect, who you go to war for, and who you fight for. What a close fourth quarter favors experience, depth, discipline. So, experience, who would you give the edge to? Would it be Ohio State? Would it be Miami? Experience-wise, I say, let's see. Offensive line, I don't know. I say it might be a wash. Linebackers, them, because, we got a first-time starter out there in Arvell Reese, right? And he didn't really get no playing time last year. Secondary, What? Who's the returning? Basically, Caleb Downs and Iggy. Jermaine Matthews got some, and then you got to start a first time starting. But I say Ohio State because this is like their first time together in this defense, so I give that to Ohio State. But I'm not too worried about the experience part, depth part. This is going to come down to coaches in this game. I know players, they're going to have their matchups. This is going to come down to the coaches. Can Ryan Day out scheme their defensive coordinator? Where I've been hearing talks that he's from the Signetti tree, so he might talk to Indiana. That I'm not worried about. And one thing that a lot of people do not realize in this game, or that Ohio State in regular season is not the Ohio State in the playoffs. If you want to ask anybody about that, ask Oregon fans. They know very well. Ask Dan Lanning. That's who you should be calling. Hey, we saw, close game with Ohio State regular season, but playoffs, what happened, man? I mean, I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but what happened? And that's the thing, where Ohio State has been hot in its hand and things like that. Miami has not had a chance to hide. They can't hide their hand. They haven't been able to. They have to put all their cards out there on the table. One thing that I believe, or that Miami fans have been talking about, or that I've been hearing, is they believe that they're faster than Ohio State. And I don't believe that. I believe that we have two linebackers who can run sideline to sideline. Our defense are twitched up. Our D tackles are twitched up as well. So offensive side, I think that we have a really good athletic offensive line outside of Tegra. But we got some road graders, man. We got some road graders. And I tell you this, you put Lightfoot out there, we're going to run right at him like the fish. So you better have some help. I'm not worried about it. But this is going to be a physicality game, bro. That's one thing that you heard Jeremiah saying, that you got to expect it. You got to expect it. And you're talking about some Ohio State guys being from Florida, been recruited by Florida. They want that. You got some Miami guys, they felt like, hey, you abandoned us. You were supposed to come here. We were supposed to do this for the home school. So they want they get back against what they call traitors. But we'll see, man. Again, hopefully I can make it to this game. I really hope to be at this game, hanging out with all of you all. Again, make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button. Let's see what everybody is saying in the chat. Saw the stats on Curry, and their start at the end, and Curry was way ahead. Yes, Curry is. Curry's a playmaker, but also, like, Curry kind of took some time off, too. So his stats could be, like, kind of crazy. That's the thing, man. I hate we have to wait another week. It's another week. But guess what? In that week, we get to wake up Buckeyes and put belt ties to Miami fans and end their season. And then I get to post my video. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see it. I get to post my video. Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah. But again, all right, let's go over here to our top fans. Shout out to our top fans for the day. We got coming in at number 1. We got Robert Howard coming in at number 2. We got the Rob Farver at number 3. We got Aaron 4, David Green 5, Jam and 6. We got Ben 7. We got Terry 8. We got Linda 9. We got Don Jizzle, and 10. We got Ty TJ. But the initials on there say KW. So, hey, we appreciate everybody for being here. Make sure that you stay tuned right on this channel. Hit that subscribe button. And again, Merry Christmas to all of you all. Again, remember what this season really means. Spend the time being thankful, enjoying your family. That's what this is really about, man. Screw the gifts. Screw all of, everything. Enjoy the time with your family and be grateful, man. With that, I love y'all. Peace, man. We out of here.